Alright, this is Piccolo versus Cooler's Henchmen. Be analyzing the fight and animation. This is the big dumb baddie of the group. Kind of looks like a pro wrestler. Even the way he's... Ooh, he gets beat up. And we get a little character turnaround here. Character turnarounds are very difficult to animate. Difficult angles of the face and the body and keep everything on model and proportional. So doing stuff like this is kind of tricky, but it's a cool way to reveal a character. Piccolo is up high and these baddies are down here below, and usually this type of character lineup, whoever is higher, not always, but just stereotypically, generally, the person that's on top is not just visually on top, but metaphorically, emotionally, they command the power in the scene. The characters that are below are usually in a compromising position. So already we're getting an idea of the power dynamic here, that Piccolo is going to have things under control. And these baddies underestimated him. But it is 3-on-1, so we'll see. He's coming in for the punch. And boom goes the dynamite. Nope. He missed. Oh, right in the head. So I like it when you have little fake outs here. Like it looks like Piccolo's getting punched through the chest and through the back. But we reveal it was just his cape. And this close-up, as the camera zooms out, it starts to reveal more information. And then we cut to this shot. So if they cut right to this shot after getting punched, there wouldn't be as much suspense because Piccolo would have just teleported, been gone. So if we even just have just a second here where it looks like he got punched through the body, it just adds a little bit more suspense and visual interest. We follow through, and then we get to see this bad guy's reaction as he opens up his hand in disbelief. All this stuff is happening really fast, but you emotionally feel it as you're watching the fight. And Piccolo teleports into scene. In a show like this, you can just have characters pop in and out because it's showing how fast they are. And this is just two drawings flickering back and forth. Pose of his body, and then this little smear frame. And it just flickers. And he gets hit in the head. So I like little shots like this. You know, it was starting to get kind of samey. The composition was all like, you know, showing the characters from certain angles. But in like these medium shots, like, yeah, we can see that he's up in the air. But this shot, now we really feel like we're up in the air because we're looking down from a bird's eye angle. And now, you know, maybe you have a little bit of vertigo. Like seeing this kind of makes my heart rate go up a little bit, especially if you're afraid of heights. And then the characters hit into the ground, get this explosion. And then these little things, you know, this is just like a cycle of maybe 4 or 6 or so drawings just repeating on loop. But it feels like the characters are moving really fast. And you have these, not just smear frames or speed lines, but after images. So, and multiples. So here we see, you know, 2 Piccolos. And as you're seeing that, you might not think, yeah, there's not really 2 Piccolos here, but it helps communicate the speed. You usually see this more in Western cartoons, the multiples, where you have multiples of limbs and multiples of just anything that they want to show going fast across the screen. You have multiples. Whereas in anime, they tend to favor the speed lines, and they don't do this type of multiples as much, but in the older shows they might have more. Up. Ooh, he did. Oh, he's like a Ninja Turtle. Put his head in his body. He's getting chased by the little energy beam. Boom. Oh, that's cool. You don't really see that much blood in these Dragon Ball Z. Well, I mean, old school Dragon Ball Z, I guess you did more, especially in the Saiyan Saga and Frieza arc, especially you'd see blood, especially like the blood on the Nameks. But like this alien dude gets just, hit in the gut super hard, and as he flies off screen, the blood trails behind, and it shows the path of action. It shows the arc he's going by, and that's just a nice little effect. And then the blood lingers where he used to be, and then it starts to stretch apart and dissipate and continue on the path of motion, disappears. Then this guy gets kicked, same thing, the blood shoots off and trails behind. That's such a cool little added detail, and it just looks nice, but it also really communicates how much they're getting hurt here. Oh, can he survive? He did. Whenever Dragon Ball shows this shot, where it goes into this sort of impact frame and the characters are all sketchy, like they're being drawn all sketched apart, like the drawings themselves are ripping apart. So this is how you know the characters are gone for good, unless they're like Cell or Majin Buu. Got some electricity effects coming in here. Ooh. So this, to show electricity effects, you have these flashes where everything turns pure white for a bit, and then it goes back to the main color. You have these really spiky, zigzaggedy edges, and they keep contrasting in opposite directions. So it creates this flicker effect. And it looks like Piccolo's done for. Nope. Look at that. Look at that smug little face. Piccolo knows what he's doing here. He is here to farm that aura. Kind of flirty face there. And now that guy's fried toast. If you make YouTube videos or live streams, check out animatedloop.com, where you can download royalty-free animated clips and transition overlays for video editing. There's also animation courses. Well, back to the video. Now Piccolo's hunting down the most clever one of the group. And it looks like he's not putting up much of a challenge so far. Ooh, look at these nice explosions. The yellow's all spiky. On explosions, the impact, the big igniting part of the blast, it starts out more spiky and triangular, and the smoky part becomes more bulbous and circular as the plumes come out, and it slows down. The smoke starts to slow down to show the scale. Now they're going into the forest. Oh, look at these nice swiping backgrounds showing the speed here. They have these trees, and the brush work is stretching out the colors to show the speed, and then the background is more soft but also has some little stretch marks to show the speed as they're zooming through here. Now it looks like the background is primarily on ones as I go by every frame here. The backgrounds are basically on ones, and the characters are probably on twos. Cool explosion. And then we see the aftermath of it, and these little flames and sparks are coming up. That's a nice little added detail. Oh, Piccolo's stretchy arms. This is a very underutilized power. I wish they'd do more with his stretchy arms. He doesn't do it that much. This is all happening super fast. Now this is mostly on ones, these arms coming in here. The character, like, he does a little take here where he closes his eyes and then he looks off screen, and this tells the audience what's about to happen. It's a little subtle anticipation frame to tell us that something is coming towards him in the direction he's looking. And here the hand comes in on frame, and he dodges it as the arm swoops around with these nice motion lines. And so the Salza guy, the guy in the background, is animated on 2s. It's 1, and the arm is on 1s here. But then we start offsetting it to where the arm is on 2s and then he's on 2s, but they're offset every other frame. So it almost feels like it's on 1s when you're watching it, even though they're both on 2s for a little bit of it. When you offset things like this, like look, the arm moves and then he moves but the arm doesn't, then the arm moves but he doesn't, and then he moves but the arm doesn't. It's little subtle stuff that adds these little textural differences in motion. You don't really notice it as you're watching it, but if you do animation, just go by things frame by frame and think about why did they make these choices, and then play it back in real time and analyze what the effects of these choices are. So now the arm comes in super close to the frame and then goes off screen. So there's this contrast between big, it comes in small, and then it gets really big and then disappears. And that makes it feel super fast and snappy. And then his arms suck back in. Oh, look at this. I wouldn't have noticed this before. It looks like, so like if someone just, took a screenshot of this picture and they didn't know anything about in-betweens or smear frames, it might look like his arms are broken. But in the context of the full motion, it's just showing the speed of his arms retracting and coming back into his body. He's got his little energy blast, turned it into a sword. Like, I like all these little creative decisions here, just like doing different unique things with these characters instead of just like the same, things we see all the time. Like there's some different little things happening and they're interacting with the environment, jumping off branches. Uh-oh, did he get him? Cutting trees. Now the trees are gonna fall behind. And so yeah, if you look at a lot of 2D cell animation, you see this a lot more in like Looney Tunes, but look at how the trees are painted here. They don't have the shading and all the gradients and the textural details that are in the background, because these are just cells, so they're painted with flat colors and cell shaded, because these are going to be animated independently from the background. So you can tell when things are about to move if they look way different from the background in terms of the shading. So after Goku saves the day, it looks like the story's over, but one of the baddies that Piccolo was fighting did survive. And so it looks like the turntables. But as usual, to save the day is Piccolo. Comes in with his signature move, Special Beam Cannon, takes him out. So that's a cool way to conclude that fight. It was a little unsatisfying to just think like Piccolo didn't beat the last henchman, but it's a cool way to conclude the movie after the main course with Goku versus Cooler. At the end of the movie, Piccolo gets the last little aura farming in. Even when he's drinking water, just like, he's just so cool. If you liked the video, consider leaving a like and subscribe. I'm trying to do as many of these animation analysis videos as I can. I'm gonna try to just keep rocking and rolling. So if you have any ideas for other cartoons or anime that I should analyze, please let me know in the comments, and have a lovely day.